SHOT Show 2025 over at the MIRA safety booth. Over here with Roman. How you doing?
Pretty good.
Last day.
Coming by. Last
How was the show so far?
It's been fantastic. We love it. Every single year we love it.
Excellent, excellent. And of course, all these masks over here you've seen on the channel. But I want to talk to Roman today about something a little more scientific, and that's the filters here. Sure. And I asked him if he wanted to kind of walk through a little bit about the science, because I'm sure a lot of you guys are wondering what to choose, what works in what scenario, and I got the expert.
Sure. Well, once again, thank you for coming by the booth. Okay, so filters. How do you decipher which filter you need? Okay, so on every single filter you find here, you'll see a alphanumeric code.
Yep.
This one is A2, B2, K2, E2, etc. So the letter stands for the type of contaminant, the contaminant class.
Okay.
And the number next to it stands for the filtration class. Okay?
Yeah.
So A is organic gases and vapors, and 2 means 5,000 parts per million.
Yeah, okay.
If you see a 1 next to it, that means 1,000 parts per million.
Oh,
so
okay.
really, if you are looking to prepare for some sort of emergency, your goal is to cover as many different gases and threats as possible. Yep. So you want more numbers, more letters, higher numbers.
Makes sense.
For the whole thing. So this one is A2, B2, E2, K2. It also does NO. You got CO, which is carbon monoxide.
Yep.
Converts carbon monoxide into carbon dioxide, allowing you to breathe it out through hopcolite, which is inside of it.
What about the coloration on the side? Is that unique to MIRA, or is that something kind of standard?
No, that's standard as per the EU norm for industrial filters specifically. Military filters do not have to have that same color coding on them, whereas industrial filters do. So you'll see it on the VK700 along with the .Pro 330.
Okay.
.Pro 330 is our latest and greatest for general preparedness.
Yep.
It works on toxic industrial chemicals and also has a particulate layer.
Oh,
The particulate layer, this is a breakdown of what a filter looks like on the inside.
Which filter is that you're holding
this
cut up?
This is a cutout of the NBC 77 SOF.
That's the big one. That's the main go-to. Yep.
And as you'll see here, we have activated carbon, and then we have a layer of filtration paper. The activated carbon is impregnated with metal halides, essentially metal salts, to capture contaminants. Fun little fact, the activated carbon is actually made out of coconuts.
Oh, wow.
Because coconuts are highly porous and have a very large surface area. So as you're breathing through the media, it's going through the activated carbon, going through all those pores in the carbon, and then within those pores, it's impregnated with metal salts, which capture the individual contaminants.
Now, these cotton on the bottom, this filter here, is that like, what is that lined with on the bottom, the white? Is that just cotton?
It's a proprietary blend. It's paper, basically.
Like a paper filter.
Yeah,
and then,
but this is made out of ULPA paper versus HEPA paper.
Yeah.
ULPA paper filters down to 99.9995%.
Yep.
Whereas HEPA paper does a little bit less than that, right? So I believe the rating on this one is U16, and out of a possible 17 or 18.
And now each filter is generally the same design, but there's extra layers depending on the use, right?
So they're generally the same design. What you'll see when you do a cut through of the VK700 is there's little spheres inside of it as well, and those spheres are the hopcolite. That's the oxidizing agent that converts carbon monoxide into carbon dioxide.
Oh, so to get out of a smoky situation, you'd want that. And what's like the run time? Someone runs into a smoke-filled house to do something. Sure. What's the run time until you have to really get out?
That depends, right? It depends on the contaminant, the concentration, your breathing rate, along with atmospheric conditions. There is a formula which you can plug in if you know all the variables.
Yep.
However, we understand that's not practical for most users.
Especially on the fly.
So we typically recommend 2 filters per person per day. If you begin to smell something inside of the mask, or if breathing becomes labored, right, indicating that the filtration media has been clogged, is getting saturated, then you know it's time to change the filter.
Yeah, especially with these, like anything with radiation. I think we talked on the channel, like, hey, if you start feeling something, you throw it out, get a new one.
Right. Another thing with radiation, so let's say, God forbid, you are caught in an environment where you are, there's radioactive fallout happening. Yeah. There's fallout particulates all over the place. You're really going to want to swap the filter more often, because the particulates are going to get caught up right in here, right?
Okay.
But what you have to realize is those particulates are also going to be emitting radiation, right? Because they don't just get neutralized as soon as they hit the filtration.
They stick there and keep going.
They stick there and keep going. So now, over time, you're going to have basically a radiation source on the side of your face that, as you breathe more and more, it keeps building, and radiation goes up. So you really want to be cognizant of that and swap the filters as often as feasible.
Yeah. So this is the go-to, right? That one's designed for radiation.
It is.
Is it smoke, gas, all that as well, or?
Sure. So let's talk about smoke.
Yeah.
Okay? So when things burn, a few different things happen, right?
Yep.
Smoke particulates are released. So when smoke particulates are released, you can capture those with a particulate layer. Okay? Along with that, toxic industrial chemicals are released.
Oh, yeah, everything burning, yeah.
So that's why you really want a multi-gas toxic industrial chemical filter.
Yep.
Right? And when a fire is starved of oxygen, the other thing that can happen is carbon monoxide is released.
Yep.
And that is why we recommend the VK700 as the most viable option for smoke escape and evasion.
Yeah. So smoke and pretty much chemical too then?
Yes, it works on chemicals, it works on toxic industrial chemicals, and it works on carbon monoxide. The only thing it is not specifically intended to work on is CBRN threats.
Okay. What about this metal one back here, little casing here?
Sure, so it offers the same exact level of protection as the VK700, the VK530, it just has a shorter shelf life. So with the 700, we put in extra work to do a special chemical treatment to the activated carbon, use slightly different materials to extend the shelf life out longer.
Yep.
It did cost us a little more, so this one
a little pricier.
Is a little more pricey.
Makes sense.
Exactly, than the VK530, but they offer the same exact level of protection.
And this Dot Pro 330?
Dot Pro 330 is a general use, escape and evasion filter or toxic industrial chemical filter.
But not radiation?
It will stop radioactive particulates, but it is not specifically formulated, the activated carbon, to stop radioactive methyl iodide gas that's typically released during nuclear reactor meltdowns. For that, under the European norm, you're going to want to look at this DIN rating, right? It's a DIN 58621 here, reactor P3.
Yep.
That's what you're going to look for in a filter that filters out radioactive methyl iodide gas. If a filter under the European norm is not DIN rated, then chances are it's not going to work to filter out radioactive methyl iodide gas, and it is highly dangerous.
Yeah. So that's the heavy duty stuff. Over here is more, I think, just daily use, maybe commercial use.
Yeah, so over here we have a series of compact filters. So we have the NBC17 SOF. This is a CBRN filter for those who, for lower concentrations of CBRN threats.
Okay.
The benefit is, though, it's lighter weight on the face, so you can wear it for longer periods of time.
Yep.
These two filters were actually developed for the Tapper product that we have. So this is a just compact P3 filter. You can also use this on a larger respirator to lower weight, lower the surface area. But once again, with that lower surface area, this filter will get saturated faster than its big brother, the standard Particle Max. Just because it's a smaller surface area, less filtration media to capture contaminants. And then we have the Pecan series. These are police canisters, essentially, made as A2 filters. Okay, so organic gases and vapors, right? A2, 5,000 parts per million. This is an A1 filter, so organic gas and vapors at 1,000 parts per million. And these are, really intended for, filtering out riot control agents.
Like tear gas and all that?
Yeah, tear gas, OCCS.
Pepper spray?
Yes, absolutely.
Now, let's say these are some of the most affordable ones, right? The particle, you can buy them in a bunch of multi-packs.
You can,
What would, if someone picks up a mask and they wanted to just get something to protect them, like you said, like maybe smoke, maybe like potentially nuclear radiation, could they go with this one, or is that just not enough?
Any mask is better than no mask, right? So keep that in mind. The best mask is the one you got on you during an emergency. So don't feel that if you have, just this product that you shouldn't wear it if you're in an emergency. You should wear whatever you have. However, we do recommend a filter with activated carbon as well, because it just enhances your capabilities, allows you to filter out particulates along with gases and vapors. And it works much better together.
So watch this video, learn which one's which, probably get one of each, or 2 of each like you said per day, and then that way you're prepared for anything, and then just understand what the capabilities are.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for coming by the booth.
Yeah, awesome. Hey, thanks so much. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Take care.